Hands back up, Katie and Chris. Like a zombie. Please keep them straight out. Gotta make this harder. Arms straight. Arms straight. The stream was blocked again, Austin. All right, Chris, I need the hands out straight. Katie's shaking. Chris Thomas is shaking.
It was a hell of a fight, my dude.
Oh my god!
Oh my
I'm sweating so much.
Oh, look at the dogs.
Shout out to you
Good job,
guys.
Chris. You killed it.
Chris, I have no idea how you kept that going, dude.
All right, we're gonna sit tight until you guys can strategize, but with all five of
Holy
you together.
shit.
We're gonna figure out what's going on with these streams. Katie, you are safe from tribal council.
Good work.
Thanks.
I'm glad I dropped one hit. I had a chance of getting that fire. You need to get some water, Chris. You look lightheaded.
I was shaking too. Great job, Chris. That was hard.
Great job.
I was getting flashbacks from Survivor Maryland, like our light pole challenge or something.
Light pull, you can. That's a mental one. That's physical. I couldn't do. Oh well.
Ooh.
That's crazy. I think it might be that you can't stream for a certain amount of time. Let me try on my personal YouTube.
Anders, yours is up. Yours is up, Anders. Sorry, everyone. We're having technical difficulties with the stream. I know you just missed it. We couldn't stop the challenge. Katie just won immunity. She was up against Chris Thomas in the final two. They were battling it out for like 20 minutes or something crazy like that. Katie won after Chris Thomas fell. We're waiting for the other stream, and then we will continue.
I'm almost ready. What is it? It really is about the legs? How do they even detect that? Oh my god.
Have you seen Chris Thomas? Come on.
Hey, JS, do you know how long that? Oh, we can.
What? What about me?
Oh fuck! This is not right. Fuck. So if you're on Anders' stream, do you want to talk about how long the challenge was? I'm curious. That was long.
It was about maybe 12 minutes.
Oh, really? That's it? It felt like forever.
Your legs are gonna feel like it was more than 12 minutes tomorrow.
After minute 1, I was done.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Tell me when we can begin. Continue, guys. The stream.
You could. I mean, if you hold on. All right, we are live on mine. I'm sure people aren't switched yet, but I think you can go ahead and start.
All right, for those who missed it, Katie just won Final 5 immunity, and we are now going to go to breakout rooms. Katie Do you want to speak first with Rue and Steve, or Chris Thomas and Swale?
I'll go with Swale and Chris.
All right, guys. Happy strategizing.
Chris. I said Chris Steve.
That's all good. What's going on?
Okay, so I definitely hope you saw the loyalty converted.
That's right. That's all good. So, I mean, I think I would have loved to vote for Katie, but unfortunately she's safe.
Mm-hmm.
And I still feel like, Chris and I just went back and forth a lot there, so I don't want to just turn around right and backstab him. So kind of leave Swale. So that's kind of where my mind is at. Realistically, if it's a final three, like I'm pretty much shown my loyalty to you through revote this merge. Chris as vice versa for me as well. So like that's the final three that I want to go with. And if Katie wins the next round, then I would take you because I think we've been working together longer.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of like, I certainly want to hear your thoughts and plays as well, but that's just kind of coming in where my mind is at.
Mm-hmm. And I completely understand that. I want to throw my vote towards Chris, and I know you guys are super close and super tight. It's just that throughout this game, I've probably really talked strategic with him, maybe a handful of times, like not that much. Usually my dealings with Chris Thomas are with you in terms of what we think we should do next.
Who do you feel? Do you feel like if you're sitting at the final with Swale or Chris, who do you feel like you have a better argument against? Than me.
I don't know, because that last move that Chris did at the last last travel council would definitely put him on people's radar in terms of winning. For Swale, I know he's been on the right side most of these votes, but that's all he could really say is that he was on the right side. I don't know if he really pushed for any of the moves in terms of the group decisions that we had.
Gotcha. So, I mean, that's why I feel like Chris has a better winner call than Swale. That's where I'm coming from. And I think, like, I helped save Chris. So I think that's why I'm less concerned about being there in the end with him. And I think you have a really good story, too. I mean, you were under heavy fire early, and then we kind of hooked up, went under the radar, and you've made the right moves. You've been on the right side for the past few, shuffling around in the right way. So I think you have a good case regardless. So I'm gonna bring you there, even if our votes don't go the same way this time. Like, it's no hard feelings. It's not like I'm gonna come to you now. But I think, like, just to be honest, I think I'm gonna probably vote Swale.
Okay. And another thing is that, well, at least so you know, like, even when it goes to like final three, final two, is you're the person that is in my mind. Essentially, that's why I want you to continue to come on with me, is because
I'm totally. I mean, I get that there's other alliances in it, so it's no hard feelings now, because as long as it's not you or I'm good with taking you to the end for sure.
All right, so we'll do that then.
So
hopefully we both can get out of it.
Good luck. Focus on Chris. I won't say like what's going on with us. Obviously, I'm just gonna try to convince people with Swale. You can try to convince people with Chris, and then either way, like I'm not gonna be like absolutely upset. I just think, like, if I actively go for Chris Thomas, he's like, I have no chance of getting his jury vote, and like at this point in the game, we need to be thinking about that a bit. So, and I think same with you for Swale, right? So we can still be aligned without necessarily being in the same boat here. I think we just got to protect each other. That's all.
Yeah, and I'm for that.
So just try to shuffle it on Chris or Swale as opposed to like me, and then I'll do the same for you. Like, if everyone's rolling with Chris, then like, fine. But I'm gonna see if I can, see where Katie and Chris are at too.
Which makes sense. And I'll keep my ear out for tribal council, because last time we didn't even mention Katie and.
Yeah, and then she got crazy.
Hey, Chris, Thomas.
Dude, your thighs have to be screaming.
Oh yeah, there's so much pain. I quit. I literally went until I fell. Like
you got good mental fortune. Look, I think for me, my play is pretty clear. Like, I'm voting Swale. I want to bring you and Rue to the finals. So if Katie wins in the next round, then I think we still rock with each other.
You think Rue would do it?
I don't know if Rue will vote Swale right now. I think her and Swale are going to probably try to go for you.
Yeah.
And I think it's like up to Katie. That's kind of what I think.
All right, so I'm gonna have to give the ultimate plea to Katie.
Yeah. So I think, but I want to go with you and Rue for sure.
Yeah, I mean I was always gonna go with you, whoever the third one is. I don't know.
I mean, unless that's the play I'm seeing right now. Unless you have something else.
No, I think that's the best. Judging by the call I was just in with Katie and Swale, it's probably not looking good for me.
You think?
I mean, honestly, Swale seemed more voting out Rue. I guess I was just saying that in front of me than Katie did, because Katie gave him this whole big speech about me.
Really? I'm with you there.
Yeah. And as soon as she said it, I was just like, oh, shit, I have no chance.
Yeah.
I could go.
Shit. Yeah, I really don't want you to go.
I got one last trick up my sleeve, hopefully.
All right, let's see what happens. I mean, I'm not gonna vote for you. Like right now, I want to vote for Swale. Like if everyone flips to be Rue, like that's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll go from there, I guess.
Katie on.
Hey, winners group.
Hey, look how far we've come.
Somehow we made it here, y'all.
Look how far we've come, and let's continue to ride.
Yeah.
You gonna give me a shot, Katie, or not?
Can you give me like a really like logical pitch on like why it would make sense for? Oh, okay, I guess not.
I guess that answers.
I understand. Like you're probably still like loyal with Chris, right? Given the fact he gave up on immunity, he put his neck on the line for you.
Yeah, I mean the way I see it, to be completely honest, is like you can decide between Chris and Swale, unless you've heard in other chat rooms about Rue or myself.
I mean, those are the two names I heard too. Well, actually, I don't think we talked about Swale because Chris was more begging that it's not him, or like just like pleading, like, oh, do I have a chance, kind of thing. So, and Swale was in the breakout with me and Chris. So, yeah. I mean, Chris also suggested that like Swale vote out Rue to make a big move, but like I feel like that like plea is like pretty weak, don't you think? Like
yeah, I mean, probably needs to make a big move, but it's not a big move if someone else tells him to do it.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
I mean, he needs to kind of come in and be like, all right, I need to make a name.
Right. Wait, are jurors watching this too? They probably are, right?
Not this one, unless they've tuned into the stream, which maybe.
Yeah, I would think so, because wouldn't they want to know what the strategy is, or are they not allowed?
It might not be allowed, though. They might only get to see challenges and chat.
Oh, so they only get to tell each other what they know when they get voted out.
Gotcha. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So
What? They're tribals. Oh, okay, got it.
So Katie, you're thinking CT, not Swale, basically. And that's just because you think you can beat Swale easier in the final?
I mean, I think it's just like Chris Thomas won All-Stars. He is like the favorite to win. I told him like the reason he's like, you know, the most likable person, has the underdog story, like had like such a great arc, just like he did in All-Stars. So I think people would love to see him win again. And yeah, I mean, I think he's a huge physical threat too in terms of Final Four.
Yeah.
Challenge.
Hey, you.
Hey.
Nice.
How's it going, Rue?
Yeah, I mean, it goes back to what I was originally saying, that I was going to go for CT, Chris Thomas.
Gotcha.
Ha!
Hey,
Okay.
Rue, you and me, seriously. They're
Yes,
trying to
yes.
get Swale out, but like I don't think that makes sense. Okay, like the
No.
only reason for me to get Swale would be because I don't know if like Swale is truly with me, and like with you, like obviously with you, but like with me, like
Mhm.
feeling okay? Because
Yeah, I'm feeling okay. And Chris Thomas and Chris Thomas and Steve are literally like this. They're
yeah,
not.
they really are. And the thing
They
is,
are
like
not.
Steve, like now is still trying to pitch to get Swale out. And then Chris also pitched to Swale to vote you out as like a big move, because he was like, you're missing a big move from your like game if you make it to the end. And I'm like, but that's not a big move if you're the one that's telling him to do it. And then yeah,
No, I'm
like,
for it. I'm
that's so
for it.
stupid because you're like literally going to be on the bottom at Final Four if he votes out like one of his close allies, you know?
Yeah, I'm for it. I'm for it. Oh, I'll be quiet.
Hey, Jen. Is it the was it the three of us before? Oh, no, it was with Swale. I forgot.
Yeah.
Is that me confirmed?
No. I was just saying that I know you wanted to talk to Katie, so I was gonna be quiet.
Oh, did you want to talk to me? Oh, yeah. You're supposed to tell me, and then I just.
I guess I'll just give you my waterworks at Tribal. save it for the big screen, I guess.
Oh no.
Dude, I did get softer since 2015, though. I will tell you that. I feel like I've gotten more like.
Confirm.
You
Did you say can confirm?
I played with you.
Oh, that's JS. I was confused.
No, he confirmed.
I thought that was Chris too. I was like, wait, how do you know? I definitely have gotten softer, but I think, yeah. I mean, I'm open. I'll at least like listen and entertain your thoughts, Chris. Because I'm sure our pitches to each other would be the same if the roles were reversed.
Yeah, and bro, no offense.
No, it's okay. It's
I
okay.
was expecting it. Unless you prefer it to be Swale for my pitch.
Hello, Final Five. Santi, please leave.
Traffic cam. Santi.
You look great though.
All right, guys, you know the drill. This is your chance to make your pitches, make big moves. This is what is going to cement you to win the vote at the end. Go for it. Have fun. 5 minutes.
So I think it's just pretty much my pitch to Katie. I'm going to be voting for Rue. And my pitch to you personally, Katie, is you are a big target in this game. I don't think you're going to question that. And when you go to the Final Four challenge and you don't win that, you're going to get 4th. And I think you probably realize that just as much as everybody else does. And what I'm telling you I'll do is, if you let me stay tonight and vote for Rue, I give you my word that regardless of what happens in the challenge, I will not vote for you. And I will, at the very least, you will have a tiebreaker challenge going into final tribal council. And if I go back on my word, I'm saying this in front of everybody on the live stream, I will match every donation to my charity.
Can we get a confirm on how much that is?
Yeah.
So is that allowed? Can I ask JS and
Chris
other
Thomas,
moderators?
that is $4 million. I'm kidding. We're not going to say
I'm
the
telling
amount.
you, this man is a hot commodity.
We're not going to say the amounts.
I won't match mine. I'll match the entire thing.
Oh, well, let me ask you,
I mean,
Chris
that's,
Thomas.
like that's like a lot. That's like your yearly bonus.
That's how confident I won't.
Chris, I love the passion. I love how committed you are to this game and how much you're willing to give to win this game. Obviously, your charity deserves it. You deserve it, and you've done in the past. But I don't think you can. You're basically saying, great cause for donating, but you're bringing your own monetary into swaying people's decisions. So,
Nope.
I want to ask JS, is that allowed? Like,
Can I jump in real quick? I'm a broke ass college student. I probably need the stimulus check more than most people here. I can barely pay rent right now. I can't afford to match all that money. So that's why you're gonna get my vote. I'm not gonna vote for you in the Final Four.
So, Chris Thomas, I thought, we were over our battle, but it looks like it's still continuing, unfortunately. I thought we,
I didn't really have to try.
friendship. However, my vote is going to you. Essentially the whole season we haven't really worked together at all, so it makes sense for me to put my vote your way. In terms of the people I've talked to and the relationships I've built, what I stand by and I stand with it. So I don't need to add more to it, because in terms of when it goes to the final 3, I know who I'm going to be going with in that point, and there's specific people here that it would be. So essentially, in terms of moving forward, I think that would be the better decision, because as you know, Chris, you're a challenge beast. Literally, these past few challenges, you've literally been top 2 for each one. So it's kind of hard for someone wanting to bring you to the end if we know that potentially we're just reducing our chances of winning the final challenge and making it to the final 3.
See,
And you have strong connections with people as well. So
I don't see it that way. I mean, I could be naive. I'm pretty sure if Katie doesn't win the challenge, she's going to get voted out 3-1. And if I win the challenge, Katie goes to a tiebreaker at the very worst. If I don't win the Final 4 challenge, I go home, and then Katie gets to go to Final 3 easily. At the worst, she's not getting voted out in Final 3 if she takes me. Whereas I think she doesn't win the challenge in Final 3 with me gone, she's out. And Katie, I really think you're smart enough to realize that because you have played a fantastic game.
Thanks. You have too, Chris. I think everyone here has, honestly.
Yeah, that wasn't a bash on everyone. Everyone here has played a good game. And you guys are all lovely people. I'm glad to have gotten to play with all of you.
Katie, what's your lean?
I mean, it's tough. Like I really do like want to hear you out, Chris. And I think like your points are totally valid. I think it would be probably a very similar case for me to you if like you want to. So like I totally understand. I think that I don't know. I think personally, like what I've sensed throughout the game is a lot of like resistance to vote like certain allies in the game. And I feel like I have been willing to cut my ties with certain people to prove my loyalty to certain, like to an extent, right? Because you can't have the best of both worlds, but like I haven't really felt that same sort of like loyalty reciprocated back, I guess, when it comes to like voting out some of like the bigger threats with like you particularly, Chris. And so like, yeah, I mean, I think I will be voting for Chris tonight. I'm sorry. It's just, I think you acknowledge that I'm a smart player, you're a smart player, and I think this is the smartest decision for me. I mean, like, I recognize that that could put me at risk next round too, but I think everyone's just easily at risk. And that's like, right now we're playing like tribal by tribal, so I'm going to do the best I can. And that's sort of where my head's at.
Chris, why Rue and not Swale?
I don't know. I mean, would you do Swale instead of Rue, Katie? Rue very openly told me that she was just going to vote for me. Swale at least said that he would think about voting for Rue. Swale, the option is still open for you as well. I also think that you need a big move on your resume for you to have a chance to win. And I think that move could be blindsiding a close ally in Rue and then blindsiding Katie.
All right. Any final comments, final pitches, final decision stuff?
I don't think a blindside counts if you tell someone how to do it, though.
yeah, I'm gonna say.
You know what I meant.
All right. With that, it is time to vote. Please cast your vote now privately to me. Important votes. Two votes more. One more vote. Alrighty. The votes are in. We are at final 5. So if you have a hidden immunity idol, now is the last time that you can play your idol. Would anyone like to play it?
Yeah, Jay, I'll play one on myself.
All right. Any votes cast for Steve will not count. I will now read the votes. First vote. Rue. Chris Thomas. Rue. Chris Thomas. We have 2 votes for Rue, 2 votes for Chris Thomas, 1 vote left. The 14th person voted out of Survivor Maryland, Generations at Quar, and the 6th member of the jury is Chris Thomas.
Is that a real idol on Steve's part?
Yes,
Dude, that was
that's
epic.
the on Steve.
Way to save it till the end, Steve. That's awesome.
Steve!
Damn. I know Chris gave up his immunity for you. It'd be
All
like
right.
that sometimes.
Chris Thomas, I'm so sorry. played a phenomenal game. Please tell us a little bit more about your charity. People can still give to you, of course, and say your farewell to the Final Four.
Love all you guys. Y'all played a great game. No hate towards anybody. Wish y'all the best of luck. As for my charity, I feel like Twin City Pride is pretty self-explanatory. So I'm going to go into Wings of Love Kuwait, which is a local inner city Baltimore charity. And I think there's a lot going on with the quarantine nowadays. And obviously people put, humans first. It's, the logical thing to do. Obviously that's what we should do. But I don't want to neglect the dogs. If you've ever been to a third world country, you see dogs running around. They're extremely anorexic. You can see their ribs. And this charity brings them from third world countries to find owners in Baltimore. And the quarantine, they normally feed off scraps or what people feed them in the passing day. With people not being outside, there's being a lot more dogs killed in these situations. So if you want to donate, it's actually not that much to save a dog and bring it over. It's under $1,000. So everything you can do is saving a dog's life. And obviously that's where I got my dog. So I have a very close tie to it.
Your dog was so very cute when you fell in the challenge and then he starts licking your face. I melted. Yeah. That was really fun. Thank you so much, Chris Thomas. Let me change your name before you go.
Love y'all.
Can also someone contact Holly since we are very close to the end? She needs to get back.
Yeah, she was pretty much passing out, so she said she was going to take a nap and set a bunch of alarms. She sent me a list just in case, but she wanted to make sure she was up for it versus for now.
Okay. Well, we'll go with that. All right, Chris Thomas, video off. Thank you so much. We're going to do the Final Four challenge now. Grab your spoons and your quarters. I need spoons and quarters.
How many quarters do we need? I
Metal spoon, 1 quarter.
All right, give me 2 seconds.
Please hold your spoon up and your quarter just so I can verify. Great.
Y'all, wait, sorry, we can't talk game, right?
Thank you. Swally, you are allowed to have a tablespoon if you want. It said any metal spoon.
Okay, I think it is a tablespoon.
Okay.
Or
Just
I don't
want
know.
to make sure, give you the best chances.
I can't tell the difference between tablespoon.
Shorter the better?
This challenge, you're gonna be balancing the quarter on the back of the quarter. So
Oh, what?
yeah. So if you have a tablespoon, I recommend it. But the instructions said to have a metal spoon of your choice.
I hope this is not going in our mouth.
Sorry, I got this spoon. I missed the memo on this quarter. Say it. Did I miss anything major?
Metal spoon in the quarter. Do you have both?
Yes.
All right, wonderful. And is that the spoon you want to use? You are allowed to use a tablespoon. If that's not, I can't tell.
It's not, but it sounds like a tablespoon is the right place. So give me 2 seconds. Sorry.
All right, hurry up.
I wonder if it's small. I'll be right back.
Thank you to all the viewers who are still watching and have switched streams with us 3 times. Really appreciate that. The viewers that started in the morning and that were there in the afternoon, same amount are right now. And it's really exciting that you guys are, sticking around and watching this through the end. We have raised about $7,500 at this point. Nope, $7,600, which is amazing.
Wow.
It's gonna get double.
Like this? Does this work?
You can use that spoon if you want.
Okay. Are we gonna have to be standing or is this sitting?
Stand.
Sorry. Tablespoon, metal.
Wait, let me see that tablespoon. Okay, so the back,
No?
it's like completely flat. I can't allow it. I need a curvature. Use the other spoon.
It's fine.
All right, where's swallowing?
Whew. Good luck, everyone.
Keep playing hard. This is fun.
Yeah.
All right, so get into standing position as well. Next slide, see that
Oh, it's the back of it? Okay.
All right, feel free to practice. All right, here's the challenge, guys. It's called Spoon in Mouth. I really got creative here at the end. In this challenge, you'll put a metal spoon in your mouth and balance a quarter on the back of the spoon. The last one left wins immunity. And we'll be competing in the final 3 for their charity. All righty, so if the quarter falls, you are out.
And you said we have to be standing? Yeah.
Yes, sir. Everyone stay standing. We have not started yet, but get into position. Feel warm. Feel safe. Feel good to go. I will give everyone 20 seconds to get into that position because it takes a second to find that perfect angle. But before that, Rue, please turn on your audio. Thank you. All right, 10 seconds. Five, four, swallow, 3, 2, 1. We are live.
I'm out.
Sorry, Swale.
My mouth.
Please turn off your video. It is between Katie is out. It is between Rue and Steve.
Wait, I did that.
So,
Sorry, I'm out.
What? That was so annoying.
Katie,
Oh my God.
Swale, please turn it off.
Sorry. Okay.
Steve and Rue, one of them is going to win the final immunity. Rue is out. Steve is in the final 3. Congratulations, Steve. You have won immunity.
Thank you.
Congrats, Steve.
All right, final 4. Here's what we're going to do. It is going to be an open discussion. No idols are in play. No advantages are in play. Where are the other people? No idols, no advantages are in play. We're going to do a 7-minute discussion. Then there will be a vote. Go. You're at tribal.
Right. I guess I'll plead my case first. Well, I guess if it's between Swale, Rue, and myself, we've come a long way, guys, and hope you know it's not personal. I think that I have had a stronger relationship with Rue. I think you've been on the bottom many times and have a very strong case to win. I think that, you know, at the same time, like, you and Swale have been on the same side of the numbers. So Steve, like, my pitch and to Rue too would be Swale, just because I think that it would be really hard. Like, the votes would be split between Rue and Swale, like you two. And so, like, that's where I think it might make more sense to vote Swale out now, because, I mean, yeah, like, if you want, like, a chance to win, I just think it'll be really hard to differentiate your games because you've always been on the right side of the numbers, on the same side. You know what I mean? Like, same team, same alliance.
What do you think?
Sorry, is it me?
Yeah, Steve, sorry.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, it's, you know, who has the best case with the jury, and, you know, Swallow, to be honest, we haven't worked together too much, so I can't speak very much to the case that you're going to make. So it's a bit of a wild card for me. Rue, I know we've worked together pretty well. So, you know, I think I kind of understand your game, which is this very, very strong game. And then Katie, I think Chris had a good point last time. I don't know if he was being sincere about voting with you, and it's a tough play if you're sitting in that position. And I had a similar play, trying to rely on an ability to win a challenge. So I certainly respect that. But I do think you've played probably the best game. So that's my lean right now, to be honest, Katie.
Can I like plead that like you guys at least let me do a tiebreaker? Like I feel like given this is all for charity, like this is not like a pride thing. It's like all for a great cause, and I would love to get a chance to at least at least get a chance to express like the different things I've done. Like I honestly I don't know. It's hard to say like too much, I guess, but I don't know.
Right. What's your lean? I think everyone else said something.
I don't know. Well, my pitch to stay is hopefully I've developed connections with most of you to keep me. But I don't know. This is a hard decision. And, you know, me and Katie, we've been good throughout the season, and same for Swale and same for Steve. I don't know. This is a tough one for me, honestly speaking. This is a tough one for me because it's like we're saying it's between Katie and Swale. But
Katie, I respect what you've been able to do. I think you've played a little bit of blend between Gen 1 and Gen 2. And to be honest, even through that time, I voted with you and worked alongside you. But I actually didn't work with Rue until like merge. It wasn't until then. So, and then Steve, I know we talked a lot. We've never been on opposite sides. So, but we've always at least had open conversation. We've never been at each other, at least. That being said, I think obviously if Katie making against me, Katie, I mean, it's easy for me to say, like, I think you're who you are, how you play this game. You've gone this far, which is already impressive. And I think it was last round I realized we have so many winners already in the bubble here. At least past round winners, you know.
Yeah, that's the thing. I feel like at this point, it's also important to consider who do you want to represent this season and who do you want winning. And I think if you feel that you stand a very solid shot and it's like the final three makes more sense without me in it, then, you know, like I will like do my best to like respect that decision. But at the end of the day, like I feel like I don't know, like I just like I really hope you guys consider like at least like a tiebreaker, because like Rue, I've been loyal with you since the beginning. Like we have honestly probably only been in like 5 like breakouts or like very minimal, but I've had so much like I've always thought of you as my number one, because I knew that like there was always pairs in Holly, Chris T and Victoria, and then like Steve was in that mix too, so it was always like Chris and Steve ended up being a duo, and then Swale and Santi, and there was just like all these other duos, and I always saw myself aligning with you. I just like never got a chance one-on-one to tell you, of course, but I felt like out of loyalty, like I would really appreciate if you could consider me at least a tiebreaker, just because like I think I've played a super loyal and honest game, and I just I don't know, like I really think that it would be worthwhile to keep me and also just to know that whoever wins, like it would go towards a great cause.
No, exactly. And then I know like our start from like team mukbang to now, we literally made it far. And and the thing is, like I said, I work with both of you. Swale is correct. I didn't even actually start working with him until merge time, but it's a hard decision between both of you. It's like, of course, Swale has great social skills and has been able to work with a lot of different people throughout the game. And then especially your last move, Katie, with your hitting a muted and be idle, that was...
But the thing is, Steve just played one too. That's the thing. Like everyone is sleeping on Steve right now. Like Mr. Sleesman is not like doing nothing. Like we can't be sleeping on him. And I think there's a very good chance that if you like don't want to like make this tiebreaker, or at least like even the playing field for final tribal council, Steve will potentially win it all, because he has not gotten any of his hands dirty. It's like exactly how he did it in season 2, where Chris Lecomte did all the dirty work, and Steve did a great job maneuvering and like using his social skills to be like, hey, like, yeah, I understand how you're feeling. Like, do you remember those tribals where I literally was like, oh, like, Steve, what are you thinking? Because you're in the middle and I want to know. And he just like gave a general response, you know? And I know Steve's immune, obviously, so I'm not like saying like shots at him again. Like, who do you want to potentially win the season? Like, who do you even want to be considered on the board for like final 3? And like, And I'm
I
not
agree.
saying it's just going to be between me and Steve either. Like, I do think that, like, you do stand a solid shot, Rue. Like, you've been on the bottom since the beginning. You've had your name come up so many times, and you came through again. Like, people trusted you without much reason to, given they didn't, like, know you too well. And you are, like, the only, like, I don't know. I think you, like, resemble a lot of, like, the resilience that, you know, we always love to see, like, the underdog, you know?
Mhm. Of
Yeah, well,
course. Thank
Oh, Katie, I don't think the jury is sleeping on Steve whatsoever. But he already won.
Last comments, guys. Last
He already
comments.
won his idol. He already won his immunity. He's getting the final three
That's what I'm
spot.
saying.
We're going to be in bed with him whether we're sleeping on him or not. But I do think Steve did play a sound game. He played a safe game. He didn't burn too many bridges. I do that's the case. But I also think you got to play with a little bit of risk and less animosity or less kind of making enemies. So I obviously
All right,
gonna
guys.
put Katie's name.
Yeah.
Time to vote.
Well, my vote will probably be going to Steve if I don't make it this round.
Steve, who won it?
No. I'm immune, yeah.
Steve won immunity. He cannot be voted for. Alrighty. With that, it is time to vote. There are 4 votes. Please send me your vote now. Finally. No one all day has sent me their vote.
I'm shocked by that. I've checked like 3 times every time now.
Wow.
Wait, what?
Looking for one more vote. Katie, I need your vote.
Oh, I'm sorry.
She was like, I already said it out loud.
Katie, I never got your vote.
What? I sent it to you.
Oh, I see.
Okay.
Sorry. All right, guys. First vote. Katie on. Second vote. Swale. Third vote. Katie on. Fourth vote. And the 15th person voted out of Survivor Maryland Generation Four, and the 7th and final member of our jury. I'm so sorry, Katie. Fabulous player.
Okay.
So
I respect
incredible. Like, literally, I've never seen you play and not dominate. So huge applause to you. Crazy dominator. What are your final words? Talk about your charity, etc.
I want to say congratulations on making the final tribal council. I'm really happy for you guys, and I am excited to hear your guys' pieces on why you should be crowned the winner. I will not be making a vote out of spite, although I said a comment. And my last pitch for American Cancer Society, please consider donating. I really appreciate all of you guys supporting and tuning in until now. I'm so honored to be playing. I was so hesitant to start in the fear of disappointing people, and I'm just like so grateful. And yeah, I'm running a half marathon actually in November, I mentioned, and I'm matching the first $300 of the donations that I've received, which I think I may have surpassed, but I'm not sure yet. So I would love your donation. And yeah, Black Lives Matter, and also, I also want to support all of the cancer patients and families affected by cancer. Thanks, guys.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you, Katie. Everyone turn on your cameras actually, because I want to see who's here. Alrighty. Andy, you were voted out first. Second juror was Shubal. Third juror was, help me out,
Holly.
Holly. Oh, we might not get her back. Fourth person?
Santi.
I'm calling Holly.
Fifth?
Me, Vic.
Vic. All right, and then was Chris T, followed by okay. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Great.
Austin, you're not on mute.
I realize I'm trying to call Holly, but I know she was setting alarms for an hour before I talked, and that's in like a couple minutes. So,
All right, guys. I'm going to announce big news for everyone watching at home, as well as for you guys. The final three. There is one more fan charity impact in the game. Okay. So here's how it works. Fans at home, you get to make a decision. You get to reward the final juror vote. There are going to be 8 jurors. The 8th juror will be the fan vote. The fans will vote, of course, by donating. You can vote by donations for Steve, Rue, or Swale. So you 3 get to texting your friends and stuff, family, post on social, whatever you want to do. Fans that are watching that aren't technically connected to you guys can also send in those money, encourage. All the money will go to those players. And the player with the most donations will receive the final and 8th juror votes. And here's one extra bonus. Since I mentioned at the beginning, we are splitting the winner's pot, which right now is at close to $1,500. Okay, the winner's pot is $1,500. Total, we still have about $7,700. The winner's pot, which is, let's just call it $1,500. 50% of that is going to go to the winner. Only 50%. Second place will receive 15% of the winner's pot. And third place will get 10%. If all the votes go to first place, second and third will get 12.5% each. The last 25% will be the winner's choice, the voter's choice. Okay, so if Steve gets $1,000 by donations, Rue gets $500, Swale gets $500. Steve will get that $1,000 and an extra 25% of the winning spot, regardless of his result at tribal. Everyone understands? So 50% for winner, which is $750 at least. Second place, 15%. Third place, 10%. And the juror vote, which will be a vote, an 8th vote. And finally, the last is they get 25% of the pot. Alrighty. So please turn off your video if you're not part of the final 3. At least for the fans out there watching, at least $375 is going to be determined by the audience. So your votes, where your money goes, matters. And obviously, of course, you're going to have an impact on the game because you get to vote for the winner. That'll be a vote that impacts it all. But what a great game. How fun. We are going to start with opening statements. Do we think we're going to get Holly?
I think we can start off, and I'll keep trying.
Okay, great, guys. Call her mom. Like, do crazy stuff. Okay. Steve, Chris, turn off your camera. Both Chris's, turn off your camera. All right, guys. You're going to start with a 1-minute first speech. Then each juror will come on here. They will be given 2 minutes for the floor. Those 2 minutes they can use to ask a question, multiple questions, or just say their opinion. Okay? After that, you will have 1 more minute's final speech, and then we will all vote. Viewers at home, you have until we finish the last person's final speech, which is probably going to be in 20 to 30 minutes from now. That is when the donations will be stopped, and we will clearly say that. So keep those donations coming for your favorite, who you think should win the game the most, and they will win lots of charity money. as a result. All right, Steve, take us off.
Okay, awesome. Well, it's been a heck of a full day. So first off, congrats, Rue and Swally. Y'all played a hell of a game. If nothing else, I got to come back and recite the all-famous speech that Siona gave to me. So I counted a win. But, I mean, I think my game was actually summed up pretty well with Katie. You know, I play, you know, a straightforward game. I don't want to backstab people. I don't want to lie to people. I tried to be, you know, completely clear and not give my word to anyone where I was going to flip around and then vote differently. In the scenarios where I felt like I had to vote for someone, I, you know, just kind of, you know, deflected or tried to give them some other names just to say, you know, I always give everyone a chance. So that's kind of my social game. And then, you know, as we got into the end game, I really kicked into a higher notch with winning 2 challenges. And then, you know, obviously I dropped early. He still might have beat me. The toilet paper challenge with Chris worked out, you know, well for us at the time with how that whole tribal went. Chris, I apologize for not using my idol on you. I thought Swallow might make a move, and I wanted to make sure that we would be safe. So good luck to y'all. Look forward to hearing what you guys say. But you know, it's an honor to be here next to you guys.
Steve, thank you. Rue, go for it.
So, you know, congratulations to you guys for making it to Final 3 with me. A few things I would say coming into this game. A lot of people could say they didn't even know who I was. They didn't know what season I came from, how I played, such forth. So early on, I knew that the beginning of the season, I needed to focus on creating bombs and essentially making sure my name wasn't on the radar. So that's when I started creating bombs with like Team Mukbang, or essentially one time I had a talk with Doug, Maddie, Andy, and Victoria about when we had to vote out in 2 different tribals, and I was voting with them. So early on, I just realized that I needed to make sure I aligned myself with the right voting block. And then that helped me progress into the middle of the game, where I developed great relationships with Swale, essentially. I developed relationships with Katie, had relationships with Victoria, had relationships with Holly. And essentially us 5 were, you know, casually working together and then moving forward to
Swallow, you're up.
Congratulations to Steve and Rue. Very respectable games. I think I played a strong game in a sense where from the start I made sure that I was making deals that I can keep. And then I knew that there were some social avenues that I can work, and I was assessing the people, right? People that were playing strong and people that were aligning. So when Andy and Shubal, I knew that they were playing very strong, and I felt like they were a good opponents in a way that if I went after them, they were going to have to go. So I stuck with that. And I also assessed how people played. If people honored being respectable and they looked out for their allies, I did that. And I know someone like Santiago or Chris Lecomte, Chris Thomas, you guys made deals. You guys are basically lawyers. Like, you guys negotiated, and I knew that honor was important to you guys. So I tried my best to keep an honor, and make sure I don't put your names down. And people like Victoria, who are strategic and whatnot, I make sure that I was a step ahead of you guys. Hopefully that I try my best to make it this far. Yeah.
Thank you so much. All right. Thank you guys for all of those first speeches. We're now going to give the first 2 minutes to Andy. Andy, turn on your camera and take it away. Thank you.
Hello. First of all, thanks everyone. I really appreciate the awesome game. It was a pleasure seeing how this turned out from the jury side, and I'm so glad we had such an explosive game, and I had a blast. I do want to say though, if you wanted to secure my vote, you can probably imagine the type of plays and the type of strategy I respect the most. Okay, so in true chaotic fashion, I want to start with Steve, and then Swale, and then Rue. Okay, and if you wanted to secure my vote, you need to answer this one question: what risky move did you take in this game that required some gambling, required some luck, some high rolling on the roulette table, that was able to put you here in the final 3? And I will add a couple of notes to that question.
Half done.
Okay, so I'll start real quick. By far, I think the riskiest move I played was playing the idol at 5 on myself and not Chris Thomas. I knew if Chris Thomas went home, one, he'd be mad at me for not playing the idol. So it's a risky jury vote. And two, I think I was actually going home next, because I think even hearing Rue now say she was close with Katie, she didn't mention me one time. So that validates that I was going home. And I don't think I could have beat Chris in the final. So that's why I had to make that play to basically say I was either going to win the Final Four challenge and get here, or I was going to lose to Chris Thomas in the final. So this is the trio that I wanted to get with. And I had to burn a tough bridge a bit there, and hopefully there's no hard feelings with Christy and he sees why I made that play.
Andy, you guys only have 20 seconds. Who do you want to hear from?
Oh my God. Rue, let's hear from you.
Okay, I would say, well, early on, my first risky vote kind of was the Nick vote between you and Nick, Andy and Nick, essentially, because essentially I could flip over to the other side and gain their trust. However, I wanted to start to establish a foundation with people I didn't know. Also, in terms of the friend idol, once Swale won, I immediately went to him and was like, okay, we could save each other with this. Like, I'll give you my idol, you give me your advantage, and then we're gonna both be safe, and then we can vote. And then Swale came to me about putting our votes on Holly. The third thing is also in terms of
I want to hear from Swale, like 10 seconds. Go. Swale.
Sure. Short answer, my riskiest move was giving up safety. There was the Mudbang group, and I was going against that when I was targeting Holly and Victoria, because I realized they were catching on the fact that I was giving anti-coins to some people that I shouldn't be giving to them, at least in their eyes. So anyways, my risk was giving him insurance to save Rue, and then I knew she had a friend's idol that she will put up publicly. So I took that.
All right. Thank you, Andy. Shubal, come on in. Jurors, please always have your questions ready. You also don't have to ask a question to everyone. 2 minutes. We need to move this going so we end by midnight. So Shubal, you can also just make a statement. You can ask a question to one person, 2 people, or all 3, but they have to be really quick questions.
I'll make a quick statement. I want it to be longer, but I'll just say quick. You 3 played amazing, high quality Survivor all around. And everyone should hold their head up high. My question, Andy stole my question. So my new question is, I want each of you to take 30 seconds or less to say your biggest mistake and how you recovered from it.
Yeah, I mean, I can go. I mean, my biggest mistake, I think, still was probably not using the idol on Chris Thomas. It was like the biggest risk. And I actually think after it, I regretted it a bit, because I knew if I didn't win the challenge, then I was going home.
So with the game, the only mistake that I kind of kicked myself in the foot was when I voted for Katie the first time, because I was very scared that at that point that it was going to be a draw for walk situation. So I was like, okay, let me throw her name out there, even though we were 5-2 from a long time ago. So essentially it did work out in my favor later on, but I did regret it because, I did say that we were going to be together strong, and I faulted at the last minute.
My biggest mistake is running head first, consistently try to get Andy and Shubal out consistently. I think I was following Katie on, and contrary to what Rue said, I was following Katie on. And I think how I recovered from it was eventually I started getting closer to Chris Thomas. I tried my best to kind of buddy up with Chris Thomas in challenges and whatnot to try to hopefully I'm not going one side too strong.
Thank you so much, Shubal. Appreciate it. All right. We're going to skip Holly for now. Hopefully she can join us later. Santi, come on in. Santi.
What's going on, guys? Like everyone, I want to say congratulations to all of you. I'm immensely proud to be a part of this season. It's been an amazing cast. You guys have played outstanding games, and not only that, but helped to support some great causes. I think one of the things that I've been wondering is, when we're adapting to an online game, we're forced to adapt, and we have to constantly change our games and figure things out as we go. What's one way that you've shifted your gameplay from how you originally played Survivor to this online game, and how did you think that benefited your play?
I can start. I would say my original season, I was a ride or die person where I would stick to one person throughout the whole season, which was my fault. In this season, I just moved around when I felt like the group would benefit me in the future. realized from the beginning who I should work with, moved to Team Mukbang. And then towards the end of the merge, I started working with Steve and making sure I can secure his trust in terms of moving forward. So whenever there was a move, I would go back to Steve and say, okay, we would switch our hat or drink our water bottle if we were going to do a move in terms of voting someone out. So something that I made sure I established later was developing newer relationships that would help me get to the end.
Cool. Yeah, keep it like 15 seconds or less, whoever.
Yeah, I think for me the biggest thing was actions have to speak louder than words. In the game that I played, you can in real life you can play you can talk to people and you can come up with crazy schemes. And here you have 30 seconds and then you have to live with your action. So I always made sure that my actions matched by the word with the right people that I wanted to stay loyal to.
Awesome. So for me, in the real life, real survivor, I take my time. I build the one-on-ones, meet multiple times. That's how I build my relationship and my trust. And here we have such a short time, and I still have a challenge with it being concise and delivering fast. And I'm still learning. I'm still adapting right now as we speak. So I think building small, strong trust fast was my challenge. And I think that's how I have to get here.
If I can, Jess, I don't know how much time I have left. Steve, I was honestly going to vote for you, but I was super disappointed by your answer to Andy's question about your biggest bold move, man. The fact you played an idol on yourself, that was the biggest risk you took. I think I'm going to have to go another way. So I just want to say that, and I encourage the jury to go that way.
Thank you, Santi.
Appreciate the feedback.
Victoria, go for it.
Hi, guys. I just have to echo what's been said by everyone. You guys have played amazing games. It's been such an experience to, come back and relive the Survivor Maryland journey. So thank you for the opportunity. I will have to say that both Shubal and Santi said some of the questions I had. So I am really curious to hear a little bit more about the relationship that you guys had with each other and how that developed, how decisions were made, and how you think it's gotten you this far in the game.
Yeah, I mean, for me, Rue and I had quote unquote saved her at a tribal when I switched my vote to avoid going to rocks to vote Brian out. And I wanted to build her trust, and I built it through the whole way, and hopefully, she agrees. With Swale, to be honest, I mean, we never went at really each other, and we never really worked together closely. So it kind of just, worked out for us.
Yeah, I say the same thing. My relation with Steve, that's how it worked. For me, my motivation was to work with Chris Thomas, but then it ended up being that he was respectful with Steve, so I had to, as parallel, work with Steve. And I assessed him. He was good. He played a sound game, no gambles. I could trust him. That's how I went. With Rue, I felt like I can work with her, but I didn't get a chance until post merge. So I think she opened up, and I trusted her. And Mudbonk was obviously an incentive.
I would say I'd established good relationships with both people on these owls. Swale started with, you, Victoria, and Holly, and Katie with Team Mukbang. And then later on in the game, I just realized that a lot of the times during the tribal councils or the breakout sessions, I would say, I haven't talked to Chris T that much. I haven't talked to Steve that much. I don't know what they feel about in the game. And I felt like that was my weakness. So once I realized that, okay, I haven't talked to these two people a lot, I was like, okay, I need to at least develop and foster a relationship with one of them. So if my name comes up later on, I have people on both aisles who are kind of rooting for me that will help me in the long term. So I try to use where I was lacking to help me in the future.
Thank you, Victoria. That's been 2 minutes. All righty. Next up is Chris Thomas. Go for it, Chris.
All right. Rue, I'm going to start with you. We started off on the wrong foot, and you gave me shot after shot to get back in with you, and I completely blundered that. So that was probably entirely my fault and my biggest flaw in the game. But I respect the hell out of your game. I think you played a great social, under-the-radar game. My question for you is, I'm going to ask you the same thing after Swale. I viewed you guys as a pair for pretty much the majority of the merge. Tell me the biggest thing you did without the other person knowing. And I'm going to give you 30 seconds. I'll hold up a timer.
Okay, so starting off, me and Swale weren't even working together from the beginning. I was more talking to I would talk to Doug, Maddie, Andy, Victoria. Initial vote, I was with Nick and Jordan in terms of what we wanted to do and who we wanted to get out. Later on, I started to develop relationship with Swale and started to utilize him in terms of an asset. And then when I saw that I can utilize him and that he'll trust me, I just kept going with him.
Okay. Swale, 30 seconds. Same question to you. What did you do that Rue didn't know about? What did you hide from her?
Awesome. Start of merge, I was in alliance, thankfully, with the werewolves plus Rue as a seer. That started off. Eventually, when things were collapsing with Holly and Victoria, I realized I had to find my savior, which I was building a relationship more towards you and Steve, more specifically to you as my savior, right, Christy? And so I was trying to find a way out in a scenario where my relationship with Rue doesn't last, and I kept saying I was willing to vote Rue out in many scenarios. So that was my case, and I realized she was close to Katie too. Yeah.
Thank you, Steve. We made a final two deal. I think it was we were final 14. You were my ride or die the whole game. My question to you is, and I want you to be honest. I want you to cut the bullshit. I think you probably have the jury's vote before this, and I think you are squandering it right now. So I want to hear the truth, and I don't want to hear the bullshit because we know you weren't getting votes final five. And there's one right answer to this question. Why did you not play the idol on me?
To be honest, I didn't think I could beat you at the end. You played too good of a game. I mean, that's all it comes down to. That, and that's why I put it as a risk. So maybe that didn't come off right. But by playing that on myself, I knew, one, I was going to be in the Final Four. And I knew, two, if I lost the Final Four challenge, I would not be speaking with you guys today. So I had two options. It was play it on Chris and guarantee at least go into a tiebreaker to try to get to the challenge because I knew Chris was going to vote with me, or play it on myself and bet on myself to win a challenge. It's what I did in my season. I won the challenge. It's what I did here. I won the challenge. It's kind of how I play my game. So it hurt me because it's something that I broke with you.
I have no bitter feelings. That was the answer I was looking for, and I think the jury was looking for. That was 100% the right move because I think Katie or I probably would have won if we'd gotten there. And that was the complete right move on your part. No hard feelings.
Yeah.
Respect the hell out of that. Thank you. And congratulations to all of you.
Katie, you're up. Hi, Katie.
Hi. Hello. What'd you say?
2 minutes.
Oh, hi guys. I just saw you. I feel like just a second ago. Congrats again on Final Tribal. I wish I was in your place, but I totally respect your guys' decision. I think it was a smart move. I am so glad that none of you guys are goats. So props for that, really. I'm glad you guys played a strong game and are willing to own it. So don't feel bad about voting me out. I get it. Also shout out to Team Mukbang. I didn't even realize that was that big of a thing, and I feel like it's been mentioned so many times.
For me, it was serious.
That's the Korean term, actually, if you guys knew. It's an online broadcast stream about Korean food and people eating. So I also love the diversity in the Final Tribal Council in general, in very full support. I think please correct me if this has already been brought up, but I do feel like you guys all have played very similar games in that you were very middle of the road. I think Rue and Swale did have one side they were sticking to, but I never felt like one of the three of you were ever that vocal when it came to voting. I think it was always as long as it's not me, no one was ever willing to control the vote or dominate and push their agenda. And so I want to hear from each of you where what vote did you think you controlled, and really where did you feel you dominated? Not just playing middleman, not to piss other people off. This is not just most popular, most likable vote. This is who actually deserves to win this game. And I think all three of you have the piece to win.
I will go first. I will say that the two votes that I felt like I played a huge factor in was the Andy vote, essentially because going into that vote, I was really up in the open. I didn't really have a choice of who I wanted to go. But once I heard Andy wanted to go for me, I started being more vocal in tribal council in terms of his decision, his thought process, and essentially saying that my vote was going that way no matter what, but prior to anyone saying vocally in tribal council that their vote was going that way. The second vote was the Jordan vote. Essentially, I heard some intel and I waited until tribal council because I wanted to bring it up in front of everybody that, he doesn't have an advantage, and he also thinks that there's a All Girls Alliance, so I'm going to vote for him even though I didn't tell him that to his face. I'd rather tell him in terms of the public, in terms of the type of game he was trying to play. So I would say those 2 votes, I was definitely vocal and definitely within the tribe in terms of, okay, this is what I'm going to do, and that's what I'm going to do moving forward.
Awesome. So the 2 votes I would say is, first of all, I think I'll say the Holly vote. I think the challenges right before, I think Victoria was speaking the fact that I was trying to appease the Trubel and Christy side and the Holly and Victoria side. I was trying to appease both sides to divvy up my coins. But when she was getting that, I realized I had to go after Victoria or Holly. Me and Ru had the immunity exchange, gave up my immunity. She gave me her idol. And in that scenario, I realized it has to be all in, and Holly was the name that I had to say. And then we had a signal. People leaned Holly, Santi leaned Holly. That was a move. And then Victoria was another one. I had voted for Victoria. Victoria was always a step ahead, and I feel like she was a good thread going forward. She played an idol, so I had to double down on that and make sure that I was vocal, and I wasn't playing middle in that either.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me it was, once I got the idol, which full disclosure, I got it at the family feud or the tribal feud. That was when I took control or started to make my plays, and every single vote from there on out, I was on the right side, except for the one where Chris went home because I didn't want him to go home. But I think the one where I really asserted the dominance was with when we decided to vote Vic. I wasn't gonna falter on that. And it was a very large play for me, and it got the right people still in the game. But every vote since then, I knew, one, I still managed to not become a target, even though, because I trusted people weren't bringing up my name, and they weren't. So I've successfully kept the idol till the last minute. And then 2, used it to get myself here when I needed to and bet on myself. So, I mean, I think really from there.
Wait, so to clarify, did you vote for Holly that round during Family Feud? And it was 4 Holly, 3 Santi, 1 Victoria. I think you voted for Victoria then, right?
Oh yeah, I voted for Victoria then.
Okay.
Thank you. Since we don't have Holly, Katie, you can turn your video off. I'm going to ask the question. This is the question that the hosts all wanted to see answered. This is going to be Holly's question. What would winning this competition mean for you? We're going to start with Ru. 30 seconds each.
Okay, essentially I've watched Survivor since I was a child, prime time. So this is something that has been allowed me to, get into my passion while not actually going to the island. However, also I'm doing this for a cause in terms of Black children, in terms of the educational system, because there is a gap. So I want all of my money to go to the Black Girls Club initiative, because I feel like in order to improve the gap within society today, we need to invest in our education. So being a winner of Survivor and also being able to give back to that charity is something that I desire to do.
Thank you, Swale.
As most of you know, and I've been part of Survivor Maryland as long as I can remember, when I stepped foot and ran into people doing challenges in the middle of watching the quad since season 5 All Stars. But and with that, I've tried my best to always stay committed and work with as crew, as a player, however much I can. And I think for me, my passion for the game, like most of you know it, I've watched it as well. But for me, I think the cause I've been fighting for is ACLU and their work to fight injustice, racial injustices and police brutality. I think I've been on the streets, I've been speaking out, social media and whatever, and I feel like this is an avenue for me that makes it easier to play the game that I enjoy while also advocating for that cause. I think this is very important. And if anything, I'll ask everybody to continue to educate yourself, put intention behind some of your causes and some of your actions, talk to your family, however, and then third, importantly, vote. So, and I preach that going forward and even the rest of this time.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, I think, in the grand scheme of things, the Survivor reasons of, what this will mean to me is minor, but, I'll go into it briefly. But basically, I was season 2. There's been 14 seasons since, and I've been able to see people online, love a lot of other people, and I always thought that I was a little bit snubbed. But hopefully, people can see that my style of play is successful, whether I come out of here successful or with a win or not. These guys, it's been great getting to know everyone. These guys have played really well. But I think I have been shocked with the amount of money that this group has been able to raise, and it's an extreme, like, warm welcome back into the Survivor Maryland family. I know it's been a while since I've spoken to a lot of you, and some of you I haven't known, but truly a really, really special group of people. So it's really an honor to be here with you guys. My charity is Campaign Zero. I think there are a lot of things that we need to address with our system, and me being in the position I am, for me, funds is where I can speak the loudest. So I'll continue to commit to do that. It's something that is, it needs to stay close to more people's hearts for longer. Everything that's been brought to light recently.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Final Three. Please keep those donations coming. It's been really great to watch. We have surpassed the $8,000 mark. So what we're now going to do, it's about 5 more minutes until we close the donations, guys, but we're going to give each of you one final sway of the jury. It'll be a minute each. I will cut you off if it's over a minute. So just think about a little bit what you're going to say. Swala, you're going to go first, followed by Steve, then Rue. Because Steve went first once, Rue went first once. Okay.
All good.
Whenever you're ready, you can go.
Okay, sure. So, as much as Survivor I've watched and as much as Survivor I've tried to play, I've also realized that there's no one way to win this game. And for me, I try to cater it individually. So if people like hard gameplay, I try to play hard. If people are strategic, I try to play strategic against them. If people like to make deals and play trustworthy, I try my best to do that. So I think I am proud of the game I played, very happy with it. The many times that I give it a go with Survivor Maryland and how successful I am, I'm very happy. I think you guys definitely should consider these other two, but really look at how much different I have been in terms of the level of risk I've taken, but also not going crazy and not going with no reason. I've gone with logic with some of my decisions that I've made, and respect all of you. It's been a great time playing with you guys, and thank you so much. And I hope I can get your vote, and good luck to the other two.
Thank you so much. Steve, your turn.
Awesome. So, I think it became clear very early on that people who were throwing names out, making big moves, made huge targets for themselves. And I think my read on that situation was accurate given the 3 that are sitting here. When you think of the Schubels and the Andys and kind of the strong pairs, they just became big targets. And that was something I didn't want to be. So I was very actively working to, 1, build trust, and B, not be the first person to start throwing names out, even though there was, of course, people I wanted to get out. And I think, secondly, Santi, to talk to your point, I think the fact that I was never backed into a corner, the fact that I never had to jump out and make a rash play speaks to my gameplay. I mean, that's how I play. I don't want to have to pick up the pieces after the next dribble because something crazy happened that I stirred up. I think that just leaves a target. And I think the people that did that, it wasn't Rue, Swally, myself. So if you think that's a negative, that's fine. But I think the fact that my biggest risk was what I said, I take that as a positive. That's how I wanted to play.
Thank you so much. Last but not least, Rue, go for it.
All right, so I would sum up my game as a very social game. Throughout the beginning, I just made sure I assessed the different relationships I had and also the environment that I was in. When it goes to throwing people's names out, coming into a game where I don't really have any bonds with anybody, and I also am not really known in terms of my gameplay, it made more sense for me to develop those friendships and also go with the team. And then when I move forward, to start to make like strong, heavy moves. One thing I would say is my name was on the chopping block a lot of different times, and throughout it, I was able to come back again and again and again and still make it out to the final 3. One of the things I did within my Survivor gameplay was assessing different relationships. At one point, I was actually considering giving my friend idol to Andy, but when I saw Andy use an idol the second time for Jordan, I was like, okay, they have a strong bond. There's no point of me trying to create one with him because I would be his number 2. So assessing those relationships is what I utilize.
Thank you. Thank you all. You guys have all played really great. It's been such a pleasure to watch you guys, as well as the jury, as well as the pre-jury. Gen 3, where are they at? But we're going to let the jury sit on that for a second. They're typing away in their chats and talking about things. Jury, please each vote individually. Don't vote based on how other people are voting. And remember, you're also awarding a second place and a third place. And we're also about to close the charity donations for the final 3 votes, okay? We're going to be doing that momentarily. Jack, please, please double check we haven't gotten any more, and then it'll be closed.
I see that we have a Jordan or Shia. I don't know if I pronounced that right. Just donated on the GoFundMe. Thank you so much. If you would like to attribute that donation to a specific player, please let us know either via the YouTube live stream, reach out to our Facebook page. We currently have one donation from Jordan T. Arcia, which is not attributed to a player yet.
Gotcha. Thank you. Also, where did what to do for songs?
What's happening? Oh, sorry.
Alrighty, we are closing the donations for the players. I mean, you guys can still always obviously donate. So the fan vote and the extra 25% has been decided. Of course, the winning pot, which is like around $1,500, can still grow after this. I encourage everyone to contribute there. Where's my? Can you guys hear the volume of my roommate? No.
No, I think it's fine.
You good?
All right. We are now going to cast for a vote for the win. I would like to announce, though, the hosts have been talking about this because Holly has not been here since in 5 challenges since she was voted out. She wasn't a part of any of the discussion or the jury, FTC, Final Tribal Council. Holly will not have a vote. She will not be a member of the jury. So there's just going to be 7 votes. 6 from the jury that you guys had a hand in voting out, and 1 from the fans. So if you are a member of the jury, please cast your vote. Now, you don't have to do it immediately. You can take 2 more minutes to think about it, because I'm going to write the votes down on parchment. Go for it. Vote when you're ready. No rush until I say so.
Time to vote. Sierra, you're up. Good luck, Al.
All votes are in. I will now tally the votes. Oh, and it's close, guys.
As it should be.
All righty. We will now reveal the votes. First, we're going to reveal the fan vote. Fans, thank you so much all day. Fans, friends, family, thank you so much all day for donating. Your votes meant so much. You guys gave out advantages. You guys gave out secret idols. It was super great, and you guys raised $8,200, I believe. So 25% of the winning pot, which is around at the moment. Nope, I did not do the math right there.
$2,000, basically.
$375.
Oh, right.
The winner of the 25% pot and the first vote. This is the fans' choice. Rue.
Congrats.
Second vote. Now the jurors voting. Steve. That is one vote Rue, one vote Steve. Third vote, Rue. Steve. 2 votes apiece. Rue. Steve. We have 1 vote left. The winner of the first online Zoom Survivor Maryland game, Generations at Quar, and 50% of the pot of the winning. The winner is Steve. Congratulations, Steve. Great game.
Thank you, everyone.
Everyone can come on, say hello. The vote is 4.
Congrats to you. Y'all played great
Thank
game.
you. Thank you. Thank you. Rue, Swally, you guys deserved it as well. You guys crushed it. That was hella fun. God, I haven't had a rush like that in a real long time.
Great game.
Good. Jay, I don't know. Jay, Austin, Jack, Anders, that was way smoother than I could ever have imagined. So major kudos. Like,
Amazing.
But thank you guys. I appreciate it. And it's a really good cause for everyone. So I'm very happy. Thank you guys. And anytime you guys want to play again, sign me up. I got the itch again, you know.
I just want to say real quick that you just shout out all the hosts. I want to particularly shout out JS for being an absolute master all day. Kept it smooth, fun, no mistakes. Wait, I think I'm muted. I'm gonna mute myself. I don't know. Someone heard me.
We can hear you.
Okay. I know you can. No, but seriously, JS, just an unbelievable job. Not have possibly kept. I mean, the amount of people who stayed interested in watching the whole day. I mean,
I was shocked every time. I was like, "How many people are watching?" You guys are like 100 per stream. I'm like, "Still?" Thank you guys. We're you guys. It was so amazing to watch all of you guys. All of you guys are legends in your own way. Some of you legends that we've seen on the show. Some of you guys are legends that I experienced when I played. Some of you guys are legends that I heard about after I played. Heard so many great things about Gen 3, which I wish we got to see a little bit more of. But it was great how it all came out. And really great job to all of you. Congratulations to the winner, Steve. Rue, I also thought you were my pick, so I will also be adding a donation to you as my favorite of the final 3. But that's not to take away from anyone else.
She crushed it.
So excited to see all of you guys. And also, I've been unemployed for a few weeks. This is what I've been doing in my free time, and we've raised over $8,000. Don't worry, I got an email during all this that I have a job next week.
Hey, nice work. Congrats.
This has been so much fun, and you guys were all amazing. I mean, it was so fun. So
I can't wait to watch some of the unaired seasons with you guys in it. I got some questions about everything, but I look forward to it.
Yeah, it's
2056 maybe.
Yeah. What's the time?
Your grandchildren will see your season.
And also, let's just say too, I know JS said it too, but the amount of fan support. I mean, I was hoping for, on a good day, 1,000 from this total, and we're at 8,000. We have at least employer guarantees up to a certain amount. When we were getting those guarantees, we didn't quite expect the amount we got, but I think between all the employers we have around here, we'll figure out a way to match it all. So, unbelievable amount of generosity from everybody involved, and for you all for pushing it. So many charities to amazing people, and I know some people have told me they're even planning to donate tomorrow. Some things aren't working.
Yeah.
We'll try to put together in the next few days or so some post game podcasts, recaps or whatever. I'm sure people would love to hear it, and people can keep supporting your charities. So the list will stay up there, and thanks to everyone for real.
So a few secrets that are fun to reveal. You guys saw my hint in the emails. Victoria, tell me about that. How did you figure out the hints?
Actually, I didn't figure it out when I was on the third one. I just pressed the button because I was so lazy. And so I got very lucky. But afterward, it like connected the dots. But yeah, the idol that I played, I got in the very first challenge. And I held on to it for a very long time.
So
Just clicking it?
if you click the hint buttons during the challenge, they would say to you, go to the third one and push the hint button. And that one said you have found a clue to the hidden immunity idol. Message me for it. Andy found the idol that was hidden on my ceiling. About half of you messaged me for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me show you that. It was up there forever and no one freaking found it until Steve found it. So during Family Feud, I would click this row right here, which is white ink. But if you look up here, then message me privately on Zoom to receive a hidden immunity idol.
That's wild.
Oh. Host, what was your favorite moment during the day of like the like? Okay. Thank you,
We'll keep
everyone.
this one up for anyone.
Thank you so much.